What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today's subject is simple. Valerie Bertinelli claims that she has ditched the scale after being considered overweight at 150 pounds. And one of the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's important for you to understand the point of body types and how it all works. When you understand that there are certain body types that you're going to fit into, there's 23 specifically that I'm aware of, but when you know that where you fit in and all of that, your weight doesn't particularly matter, especially if you have developed muscle over time. So what I'm going to also do is I'm going to pull up Valerie Bertinelli. Okay. So as you can see, I mean, there's she's clearly a little heavier there. She actually struggled with her weight for years, but in the process, this is the look of a woman who also was being harassed about her weight. But what I also want to do is I want to pull up images, and in those images, her images range in a lot of different ways. And the one image that I want to pull up is actually this one. In this picture here, she weighs 150 pounds. 150 pounds, and she's 5 feet 4 inches tall. And in that picture, so when she finally started to realize that she's being judged in a way where she cannot understand what's going on, about how disrespectful she was being treated because of her body, this is how obesity creeps in from a psychological level, where people just give up and not concerned and don't even be concerned about their health and their fitness, because people are disrespectful and do not understand the sizes and different body types. They'll assume that somebody's fat just because. So in this particular picture right here, she's 48 years old and she's in a bikini body, but believe it or not, she was 150 pounds in this picture, but people still trying to call her fat. Now, granted, when she was younger and she was married to Richie Sambora. Is it Richie Sambora? I don't remember who she was married to. Or Eddie Van Halen, I believe it was. She was married to Van Halen. And yes, it's Eddie Van Halen she was married to. And she was clearly thinner, but again, number one, she was young, extremely young. And then on top of that, it was the 80s. 80s was all about being thin, and it was being thin in some of the most unhealthy ways possible. So when you decide, or when you finally start getting healthy, or thinking you're getting healthy, you put on all of this weight because you weren't meant, your metabolism goes haywire because you were doing all these weird fad diets and you suffer for it. So to get back into this article, after being considered overweight at 150 pounds, she stopped. She said, so now let's read the article. Excuse me. We're having issues here. Okay. So this is a 150 body on a 5'4" frame. Let's look at the picture. It's on Instagram, right? So let's take a look at it. This is the body on a 5'4" frame. I don't weigh myself anymore because this is considered overweight. By whose standards, I don't know. I'm sorry. She's 60 something years old and she's 150 pounds and you're going to call her fat? Does that look fat to you? Seriously, does that look fat to you? I don't think so. Let's look at the other picture, because there's another one, and that's the other picture that was shown on the other video, on the other screen. So let's read what she said. I don't weigh myself anymore because this is considered overweight. By whose standards, I don't know. It's stupid, and I believe them for far too long. I now finally know that I am a kind, considerate, funny, thoughtful woman. So please remember who you are and what your character is. Should never be overshadowed by what size you are or how much you weigh. You are enough. Just the way you are. F them. Okay? Now, this is where I'm going to slightly disagree with her, because you are who you are just the way you are. If you have a good heart, you have a good character, a good soul, yes, you are you, but you should be healthy. But in that picture, where does Valerie Bertinelli look unhealthy? Where? Where does she look unhealthy? Where does she look obese? Where do you see rolls of fat lingering on her body? So whatever she weighs in this picture, she says she weighed 150 pounds on a 5-foot frame. And believe it or not, I've already said this numerous of times. I'm overweight at 5'4", 150 pounds. And I'm muscle at 15% body fat. Okay? And I also have friends who are health and fitness enthusiasts who are 5 feet tall and weigh 150 pounds. Okay? How 150 pounds looks, and I promise you, if you saw her, you wouldn't think she weighs 150 pounds. And the other half of the equation is that it's not your business. Do they look good to you? Let it go from there. If they're in good shape, in good health, the rest, the weight, the quote unquote weight does not matter. The only thing that matters at this point is can they take care of themselves? Are they fit? And are they healthy? Just because you're too weak to pick up a woman that weighs 150 pounds doesn't mean that they're fat. But on the flip side, don't buy into the false positive body imagery, because that is exactly how you're going to end up in trouble. Valerie Bertinelli wears fat clothes from weight loss ad, and I never felt more beautiful, is what she says. I don't disagree with her. She's 63 years old. Okay? I wouldn't stress myself out at 63 years old about how much I weigh, as long as my muscle mass is good, I'm fit, I'm capable, and I'm healthy. The scale isn't the only thing Bertinelli's leaving behind. The beloved Kids Baking Championship co-host announced she was leaving the show after 12 seasons, citing budget cuts as the reason for her removal. Okay, that part I'm not going to worry about so much. Without sounding like a drama queen, the show saved my life. The hot in Cleveland actress continued, working with all those really wonderful people and feeling productive and knowing I could spread some kindness and not just wallow in my hell. It was like a flotation device. So, to be blunt, struggling with weight is a struggle. However, that struggle should be met with a level of compassion and a level of accountability. You can't simply think that treating somebody poorly and judging them harshly is going to get them to stop being what you want them to stop being. It's not that simple. So as a result, you have to understand that there's a fine line between body positivity and false positive body imagery. You need to walk that fine line so that way you can be the best you. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube, and click the all notifications button so that way you can get every bit of information that I put out. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class of Stoutt.